Today I'm going to introduce you to a proposal for better parking management. Pretty much I'm giving you ways you can solve the issue of fixing the lack of unavailability of parking around your campus. Here you see the purpose of the proposal. I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'll just mention that I'll offer you some recommendations, a few alternatives, and a debate your current policy. Here's your current policy and penalties. The current zone parking policy states that if it is enforced Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. During those hours, students and faculty and staff are only designated to park in their assigned locations. You require each name tag to be visible for the campus parking enforcement officers. Parking is prohibited in unauthorized locations, such as parking zones, loading zones, sidewalks, and the grass, and also in visitor parking. Here below is the types of parking permits, their color code, and their costs. So each cost per academic term is $120 for all students, residents, and faculty and staff. Commuters parking permit are white. Resident students are yellow, and faculty and staff are black. Here's the current weaknesses and strengths I see within your policies and strategies. Here's a couple of strengths: that vehicles are parked on campus are all registered by students, faculty, and staff. The residents have the opportunity to park closer to their dormitory so they won't have to park in other areas that's not near their dorms. And all parking signs around campus are in great condition. Here's a few weaknesses that I see within your current policies and strategies. The citations are not consistent with the cameras in the area. Parking fees are higher than normal and not similar with other parking fees in the area, or other colleges' parking fees in the area. And the parking prices do not go hand in hand with the level of parking provided. I see that students pay $120 to park when there's no parking availability for them. Here's a list of recommendations, like providing a shuttle service for students. You give them incentives like a free meal for early enrollees who decide to opt into the program. Maybe a gift card or something of that sort. And the hours of operation will be my recommendation will be from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the policy you can have for this is to have students show the bus driver their students, faculty, or staff show the bus driver their student IDs to have access to route the bus. And the price of the shuttle buses, to help you with picking one of those, I provided a table in the next slide. And also with the routes that the shuttle bus can take. You can also encourage the students to use their bikes. You can create a program where students have the option to rent a bike from whoever you assign the program to. You can also add more bike racks around campus. As I went through campus, I noticed that the only bike racks that are available to students are the ones that were available to students. Is the ones outside their dorms or not, and other areas of campus like Roberts Hall, Morton Hall, those buildings lack bike racks. You can add more additional bike lanes on campus. The only bike lane that I notice around campuses are the ones that leading from the library to the Greenway. You can also, excuse me. Well, by encouraging this use of bikes, you could create more of a bike-friendly campus. Here's the route that the shuttle bus can take. As you know, it also goes to Tech Hall, since it's like way outside of the campus and back into the around campus. The reason why is I didn't put the route. Well, I recommend the route not be taking spaces in these areas, like because it'll cause more congestion than it already is on campus. And here's the shuttle bus cost. You can see the different types of shuttle buses, how many passengers it holds, and the total cost of each shuttle bus. Here's like the red indicates the red lines indicates bike lanes you can add around campus. With this area right here, this is the only additional bike lane that's on campus. These two areas. Building that this is going to be a new building pretty soon. I think it's a better opportunity to put bike racks all throughout this area since it's going to be the most used spot around campus, being that there's the Charger Union, Shelby Center, and a student service building. And here's a few alternatives. You can rezone in parking lots. You can limit eligibility. You can change permit prices. With only the alternatives of rezoning parking lots, I noticed that some of the parking lots are around campus are not even used by students. Being that like the optics building or the optics building or the the optic building or pretty much the optics building where the area where the Charger Park is. That's parking areas for commuter students, but I noticed that there's not many commuter students who are in the College of Science or even take classes in the optics building or the material science building. And that's just area just taking up. It's not There's not enough parking going on there, or even the additional parking spot you guys built over there is not any parking there either. You can limit eligibility who parks where. You can give the opportunity for commuter students to not who live within the 1 mile radius have the opportunity is ineligible to park in certain areas on campus. We will encourage them to like ride their bike to school or stuff like that. You could change permit prices just to encourage students, incoming students, not to drive on campus or something like that. Or even maybe adopt to also having students carpool together.